now I'm setting a timer, gentlemen, because we're gonna talk about Spider-Man.
I have a thought. We each get like you start a timer. We each get 3 minutes.
3
You
minutes.
say your thoughts on the new one. You give it a rating, and you're done.
All right.
Because we did go on for like a half an hour last time.
It was way too
I'd
long.
like to be off of this before 10. So
yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna say 2 minutes because 3 minutes is way longer than you think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could talk about it.
I know you could, but I could not.
Within those 3 minutes, talk about your thoughts and then throw your best moment in there.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. I'll make it 3. All right. I'm gonna start the clock. Ben, I think you probably can do it the best. So why don't we start with you and go?
That was the most I've enjoyed a movie in a very long time. And the scene of, spoilers, 10,000 times spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
The scene of the 3 Spider-Men overtook the portals and Endgame scene in terms of like goosebumps in a comic book movie for me, because Spider-Man has always been the top guy for me in terms of comic book characters. This Tobey movies were what got me into it. I read a really specific line of 80s Spider-Man comics that I found at the Market Barn when I was younger. And that was like my introduction to comics. So like I have a really strong attachment to the character, and everything about the movie, as flawed as parts of the plot were. I'm not saying it was a flawless movie. There were some just moments where, you just kind of had to go with it. I don't give a fuck because every part of No Way Home I loved. Like, Norman Osborn back, Willem Dafoe, like just going off with that character, just cackling at Peter as he punched him, like and then Alfred Molina coming back as Doc Ock was fantastic, and I'm glad he became a friend by the end. And then the moments he had with Tobey, my God. Where am I on time?
You got a minute and a half.
Okay. So yeah, I understand that, like, they did kind of just throw in a lot as like, hell yeah, look at this, all the shit we can do because it's but like, I thought what they did in terms of how much they used the Spideys was very good. They didn't bring them in till late, and I think it's still very much focused around Tom's story, like the Tom Holland Spider-Man story. Like it could have very easily just become, we're gonna try to get as many, which I mean, yeah, they did try to get a lot of references in, but I didn't care because I laughed my fucking ass off when I'm Something of a Scientist myself came back. I loved every second of the movie when I was there. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed. I cried a couple times. I cried at Aunt May, and I cried at Andrew Garfield catching MJ, which that's my favorite moment, is Andrew Garfield catching MJ. I fucking love that. Followed closely by Tobey stopping the glider.
Okay.
I love that movie. I enjoyed that so much. It was everything I wanted out of that going in. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how well they were going to handle this just sheer amount of characters they had going on in that movie, because it was a lot. And I think they did as well as they could have with what they did. And also, I loved every second of seeing all 3 of those. Like, the Spider-Man banter they had in that movie was so much fun. But I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because I loved it. I loved so much of it, but I also know it wasn't perfect. So 4 out of 5.
All right. Right at the 3-minute limit there.
Really?
Yes.
Look at the time.
All right. Does anyone want to go next? Now, keep in mind, we have a 3-minute limit, but that by no means you need to speak all the way up to 3 minutes.
Yeah,
you can stop whenever you good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I wanna go next because from what I remember, I kind of feel similar to Ben. I thought, all right, so it was a great movie. Like, I went to the theater with Caroline to see it, and it was fantastic. I think all of the way, like Ben said, the way that they incorporated all the characters but still centered it around, like, Spider-Man was, like, Tom Holland specifically, was really well done. While there are some plot holes, I also really love Doctor Strange. He's one of my favorite MCU characters, and I liked his part in the movie. I really enjoyed just, like, I don't know how, because, like, I guess with superhero movies, like, I know, like, I don't want to mention DC right now because DC are nothing like Marvel.
They're
But
having a
it,
time.
yeah, they're having a time. But it's nice like going to a Marvel movie and just like watching a movie. Like I'm not thinking about all these crazy like plot lines or like nitpicking everything. Like it's just a great feel good movie.
Yeah.
And like I had a good time watching it.
Till it just crushes you at the end.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was gonna get to. I also really liked like the fact that now you have bare bones Peter Parker kind of at the end, and the way you kind of get some closure on I guess that like new Spidey trilogy, if you want to call it that. There's like a little bit of closure on that so far. I know they're making more movies, but yeah, I thought it was a fantastic movie. I'm also going to give it a 4 out of 5. And my favorite moment, just because, and I'm kind of biased here, but I loved Spider-Man 3 growing up, and Sandman was one of my favorite characters. This is the Tobey Maguire movies.
Yes.
And I really like when Sandman was introduced in the film and he saw Spider-Man, there was still like that trust that he had with him because it obviously is connected to where Tobey Maguire and Sandman left off at the end. Yeah, they ended well. And I thought that was really cool that they like really like utilized that in the film, but also did it realistically, where like Sandman doesn't just blindly follow him; he questions him after the events that unfold. And I don't want to spoil too much. I know we're already spoiling stuff.
Oh, I got a big spoiler alert going before this for sure.
But yeah, so that's my favorite moment, and that was my rating. And yeah.
All right. Very interesting. Nick, would you like to go next?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll probably be quick. They kind of already summed it all up. It was a very good movie, I think. With respect to personal opinions of Spider-Man, I still am a Tobey Maguire fanboy. Therefore, I enjoyed him coming back in. So that kind of like made it more exhilarating for me seeing him back on the screen in that character. I do like how they balanced out. Like I think one of you guys said it. There was a lot going on, a lot of characters brought in, but I think they did a pretty good job at balancing them out, not giving too much screen time. What's funny, earlier today I'm on Twitter and I see this meme. It's the look that Tom Holland gave Willem Dafoe at the end. He's gonna kill him, and Goblin just staring back at him like he didn't have his mask on, so Willem Dafoe was just staring back at him, and it's like. I can't remember what the caption was. I was looking for it while you guys were talking, but I was like, man, that's like.
Because was he like fucking smiling? Like he was like, just going for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool when I saw that earlier. But favorite scene definitely was when Goblin body slams Tom Holland through that building. Like that was.
Ooh. That's through like how many fucking floors?
Yeah.
Mike, are you frozen?
No.
He's just listening.
Just listening.
But I mean, there was a lot of like, and Mike's about to say it, and I didn't really think it until you said it in the hidden episode. But it was a lot of catering to fandom, and I don't care about that. I still thought it was a very good movie. Not the best. Ben compares his little tingly feeling of 3 Spider-Men coming on scene versus the Portals. I still think the Portals take that for me.
I fully admit I'm just a Spider-Man fanboy. Like,
no, I agree. I'm not discounting that, but yeah. Score wise, I'm not gonna say it's 4, probably 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
All right.
It's not as fresh in the mind anymore either.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to remember back.
Yeah, that's the same deal.
I've been rewatching clips for like weeks. What do you mean?
Surprised you haven't seen it again.
Yeah, I probably will at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and watch it again. All right, so here, let me start my own clock. I'm not. So I liked it. Listen. So I talked a lot of crap about it in the secret episode that no one will ever see. And my only issues with it were, it was a lot of fan service, which I like fan service, but there was just so much of it. Plot holes, character decisions that I'm like, you are an idiot. But that's what movies are. That's not me. The problem is I project myself there, and I'm like, what would I do there?
Yeah.
And that's not what the point of movies are. So that was part of the reason. But the big reason I had a huge issue with it was everybody else stroking it off, saying it was the best. Like there were people saying it's in the top 5 Marvel movie, and I know some of I
It
know
is for me.
I know Ben thinks it is. There might be for some other people.
It'd be low in the top 5 though. Like it wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's a few above it for me.
I had some people. What Danielle's best friend had it like second or third, and I'm like,
it might make third for me.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
It might make third for me.
Okay, so yeah, listen, I respect everybody's opinion. You like the movie, that's awesome. I also liked it, but I think having it in the top 5 of all Marvel movies is, it's frankly irresponsible. No, I just don't agree. And my problem was everybody they just liked it too much. They're like, it's the best Marvel movie ever.
So it was overhyped.
It was, yeah. It's like public perception is what turned me off of it. I think it's what made me dislike it more, because I was like, hey, that was an awesome movie. You know, we had 3 Spider-Man. That was cool. We had all the old characters.
Your expectations too high going into it, right?
I didn't really have too many high expectations. It's more, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think it was getting too much credit. Because, and here's my thing. I got 40 seconds left. Here was my thing. People were saying it's best like Marvel movie, and for me, it's not even my top Tom Holland Spider-Man. I liked Far From Home. I thought Far From Home was fucking sweet. I would probably put it above Homecoming, but that's just me.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was my thing. I had too many people were telling me it was awesome, and I was like, I don't think it's that. But I'd give it a 3. I'd give it a 3 too. But still a fun watch, and I will definitely watch it again. So
I fully
2,
admit most of my rating was just based, like, I loved both Toby and Andrew. I watched all of those movies growing up and so many fucking times and loved all of them, and I don't know, it was just there was not a second of that movie where I wasn't having a good time when I was in the theater there. Like, it was just,
yeah,
I liked it.
But let us know down below, what do you think about the new Spider-Man No Way Home movie? What's your rating out of 5? And you know what? Put your favorite moment down there in the comments as well, because I didn't share mine.
What is yours?
I quite enjoyed the when they're in Happy's apartment and he's getting the spider sense, but because there's so many enemies, he can't tell where it's coming from, and that was cool. I think that was, and from a video production standpoint, it was really well done conveying that, because it got tight into his face, but the angle of they made it a wider angle lens, so it made everything like more uncomfortable and distorted, and you could tell like some shit's going on.
I've always loved seeing how each one of those movies has been like, all right, how are we gonna display this invisible power, kind of thing? And I also love that.
Well, even
and so, that's some sense of yours.
I don't know how it is in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, because as you guys know, I've never seen them.
We'll have to watch this.
Not any particular reason why.
All right, when you come up after Pondy, we're watching a couple of the. We're watching a couple of Spider-Man movies.
I mean, you're talking about a movie from 2001, from the first ever Spider-Man that came out with Tobey Maguire.
I love that
2022 or 2021, right? So it's like a 20-year difference. How can you develop this now with new technologies and everything? So, like, does it surprise me that the tingle sense is better in this movie? No, not at all.
Okay. I don't even know if it's better. They're all like, I loved the original Spider Sense scene, it was in the school where Flash is coming at him, and
like,
like he's
slows it
literally
down.
like looking at a locker, and he like slows down and like he dodges the punch, and then like you see the spitball go by, and I'm just like, I
that was
rewatched
cool, yeah.
Spider-Man 1 the other day, and I was like, damn, I mean, like it's campy as hell, but like I still loved it. Like it was great. I've always loved seeing how each one kind of has a slightly different sort of.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen the third one of that movie.
Me
either.
neither.
And
We'll
I
have to
don't
watch that
want
at
to
some
watch it
point.
because it will taint my opinion of him because I know it wasn't as good. And I
The
know he
dancing?
didn't make
Wait,
me
wait,
The
that
dancing on the street.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Spider-Man 3 is a good time
Wait,
though.
Eric, what's
But
up?
Spider-Man 3 is a good time. Like, just watch it. It's not. If you're going back and you're being super critical of Spider-Man 3 at this point, just watch it and enjoy it. God dang it, all these people.
That movie is
Nitpick
literally
it.
just it's
Yeah.
like a 2-hour-long meme.
Listen,
Like
Also,
it's
wait,
the
wait.
best time.
But one of the best parts of that movie is the Sandman arc. That's a fantastic arc.
Sandman's pretty
That's
good.
a very Spider-Man arc of that movie. Like
Yeah.
it develops Spider-Man's character.
Listen,
in a
Nick.
Okay.
really
Listen,
Let
amazing
me pull
way.
this
So
back
watch
in a
that.
little bit.
listen, you can't be scared of a taint, okay?
Let me pull this back in a little bit. I have seen scenes of that movie. I have never seen it from beginning to end. Like all the other movies I've seen.
Oh, okay.
Like,
You
I've
should though.
probably-
It's not
Because I
mean,
know
it's not
about the
great,
Sandman situation. I've seen
Oh,
that
okay.
stuff.
I see. I
But-
didn't. I was very confused in this movie. I was like, "Oh, he must be a
but- All
friend."
right, we're watching Spider-Man 3.
But
Yep.